Yeah, I'm going to share our email to target campaign that's currently on our website. So let me share the screen. So I prepared a little bit. This is the live page, and you can also find the link in the slides. Be aware that emails are getting sent if you test the form, and you will end up on our email newsletter list as well. So this is the live page. For those that don't know, an email to target campaign is basically a form like a petition, but instead of putting your name on a list that we then give to a company or politicians and so on, we send an email directly for every signature that we get on the form. So every single person that signs this form will send an email directly to the companies. So in our case, so as you might know, Switzerland has a customized layout, but this is all Planet 4, so it's also done in Gravity forms. We have a few custom elements on this page, so I'll show you this live page very quickly, but then we'll go to a simplified example page that's a bit easier to explain without all the customizations. It's also something that you can do directly in Gravity forms. So basically, we have 3 different statements you can select. So this will send a different letter to the companies. And then you can select from a list of, I think, around 12 companies to select to send an email to. So if you select all of them, you enter your name in the form and so on, and you send it, and it will send an email to each one of these companies, including the statement that you select. And on the right side, we actually, so this is a display of the letter that we send to the company by email, and it changes depending on what you select here. So that's the custom basically. But then we also have this simplified version. It's also linked in the slides. It's on our dev site, and I disabled the email sent to the company. So feel free to try this if you want to, if you don't want to send an email to any company. So this is a simplified version of the form. You can basically select one of the 3 statements. It will show the exact statement here in this text box field, just so you know what you're sending to the company. You can enter your name and your email address, and then send it. So basically, that's all you see as a user. It's just a very simple form. You get sent to a thank you page. It's just a standard of what we can do in Gravity forms. So I'll show you quickly what I did in the Gravity form side of things, because that's what you can basically do yourself to implement one of these. So I added a drop-down field that contains the 3 statements. So you can select one of those statements. It's all in the choices field. And then you have the 3 statements, 1, 2, and 3. And these are just using conditional logic. So either just one of them is shown. So it's not opening now. So when you select the first one, it will only show the matching statement. And then basically all we did to send emails to companies is what Luca told us not to do, was sending notifications directly from Gravity forms. Sorry, Luca. But I'll explain how we do that safely. So basically we have these 3 statements again. So 1, 2, and 3. And if you look at the email, so this is the email that will get sent to a company. So this will just get sent to me now. So we don't spam anyone, except for me. You can spam me, that's fine. And then what we did in the end is also conditional logic that just says if statement 1 is selected, send this email. And if statement 2 is selected, then send it like one of the other ones in the list. That's basically it. We've also connected Gravity forms to Sendgrid, which is an email sending service. So the emails you see being sent here are not really being sent by the Planet 4 server. That's the way we made this safe to do, so we can actually send thousands of emails to companies without getting the Planet 4 servers listed as spam sending, even though, like, in our view, this is not spam because people are actually sending these emails. They are just using the form instead of their email client, but still sending mass email will get you listed sometimes on spam pages, spam lists. So yeah, that's it. It's just a basic Gravity Forms functionality, I guess. You can use it to send emails to companies. We've just sent, I think, 30,000 emails now using this form in the last 2 weeks. We're kind of a small country, so that's a lot of emails for us. I'm sure some other countries will send a lot more email by doing that. And I also know that the Planet 14 is looking into adding that functionality officially to the Planet 4 Gravity Form, so it can also be done safely. Most likely also using Sendgrid, but maybe a different solution. I don't know. Well, there are some technical aspects that I don't think we can go into too deeply. One thing that I can mention is that when you create the form and these notifications, you have to always make sure that the sending email is a Greenpeace email. So we use greenpeace.ch in Switzerland, but that's really important. You can't ever send an email from a user's email address, because so that will end up in spam anyways. But you can always set the user's email address as a reply to address if you want the company to be able to reply to email. I think. Oh yeah, so this is a consumption campaign, and we have 3 statements. So the first one is I would like to have products that last longer. The second one, I want to have more repairability of your products. And the third one is I want you to sell more second-hand products. So this is all about circular economy and so on. So the statements are related to that. So these are 3 different things you can ask from companies, basically. Yeah, it's in German.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all right. Thanks, Stefan. Just a quick follow-up. Did that, because I'm curious about that sort of aspect of, you know, petitions making it easy for people to sort of customize things. Did you see like a lot of usage of that, like a good split across the different statements, or did people just go with the default one or something?
In the original form, we actually had a 4th option to send all statements, and that's what a lot of people selected. Also, the original form that I showed at the beginning is quite complicated with the 3 statements and then that many checkboxes and so on, and conversion isn't really great. We knew that when we set it up. It's not really the goal of the campaign at this moment to generate a huge amount of emails, just to, you know, let the companies know. So most people selected send all statements and send it to all companies because people are lazy like that. But it was good for us because companies got a lot of emails like that. But if you want to like have a good conversion rate, then the simplified form that I showed would be a lot better because it's shorter and more to the point, I guess. And yes, conversions actually, so that proved to be an interesting point. So we count conversions, like how many people take this action, which is the most important metric for us. But actually, we can't measure in analytics at the moment the special stuff like how many companies people send emails to, because that's so customized and it will be different on every form. It's just not worth it to implement it. So I think even in the future, we'll stick to just how many people actually use that form. It's so much easier to set goals for the campaign. And then in the end, of course, campaigners would want to know how many emails the companies got. And so we just export the data and use a Google Sheet to count it in the end, actually.